The mutual fund industry's asset under management has reached 50.78 lakh crore rupees for the first time in the month of December of 2023. This as per data shared by Association of Mutual Funds in India, AMFI. The mutual fund folio surged to an all-time high of 16.49 crores, showcasing an increase from 16.18 crores recorded in the month of November of 2023. The equity inflows continued to go high for 34 consecutive months, reaching 16,997 crore rupees in December of 2023 as compared to 15,514.5 crore rupees in the previous month. Now, if you break down the inflows by fund category, small cap funds saw an inflow of 3,857 crore rupees in December, marking an increase from November's 3,699 crore rupees, while large cap funds experienced an outflow of 281 crore rupees as opposed to 307 crore inflow recorded in the month of November. In contrast, mid cap funds recorded an inflow of 1,393 crore rupees, showing a decrease from previous month's inflow of 2,666 crore rupees. On the SIP front, SIP saw an inflow of 17,610 crore rupees, hinting at a change and perhaps a shift in how people are investing and what route they are taking. This as per the data from AMFI as of December of 2023. Kartik Malhotra with me here in the studio. Kartik, very good afternoon. What are you making of the data emerging from AMFI?
I think it's very simple, Shweta, that Indian retail investors are sipping their way into the mutual fund industry, and I think it is fairly obvious that even if there were these talks about the Indian markets being overheated, and December incidentally was the month where we saw the Sensex breach the 70,000 mark, and despite that, I think Indian retail investors are not worried about their timing of entering into the markets to make their investments, and the route that they are taking is the SIP route and not lump sum. So I think strategically Indian investors are pretty much oriented with what experts say, that don't try to time the market, don't try to enter with a large corpus immediately, because that could wreak havoc for your investments if the markets were to correct. And SIP continues to be the route that Indian investors are taking. Now, incidentally, what stuck out this time for me was that the mid-cap funds.
I wanted to come to that. Yeah. And I mean, come to think of it, the categories of fund in which people are investing, it appears there is some sort of interest towards small caps, then mid caps, as opposed to large cap funds, absolutely, because people are withdrawing money from there.
True. So what seems to be the case this time around is that we have seen the small cap rally, and that rally has lasted many months. In fact, almost 6 to 8 months of small cap rally is what we've seen, and that is something that has driven the overall indices also to their highs. But the risks associated with small caps are, of course, there for all to see.
Absolutely.
Now, the next option are the large caps, and I think the large caps, the safer companies, the blue chip companies, is where investors perhaps have already booked their profits. So they entered with SIPs or otherwise, and they saw their investments give more than decent returns back to them, and they decided to perhaps cash out of that category and look at the next best option, which were the mid-cap funds. And the mid-cap funds is where all the action has been, at least in the month of December.
It's to park your money, which is what retail investors are doing at the moment. They're parking their money in the small caps and mid-cap funds, perhaps withdrawing and booking profit from blue chip companies. That is according to the AMFI data. The numbers there quite staggering at the moment, but come to think of it, the overall AUMs, and I think we can spend about 30 seconds discussing that, the $50 trillion mark, the 50 lakh crore mark has been touched.
Absolutely. I think, obviously any such headline is good news. It's great for the sentiment of investors. It is great for the India's sentiment per se. That is not just the FIIs. It is not just the large
domestic equity
firms.
Investors, which
these are retail investors
absolutely,
also, who are really inch by inch building this case for being bullish on India, and they continue to remain bullish on India.
Absolutely. So it's not for the FIIs who've just started showing interest in the Indian markets once again, but for the domestic equity investors, the domestic retail investors, due to whom the numbers there on your screens at this point in time at 50 lakh crore rupees as far as the total AUM, asset under management, for mutual funds is concerned.